morning. It's Thursday morning, and we are going to start our new day for the Lord today with some thoughts from His Word. Following along with the theme that I've had the last few devotionals I've given to you about how to learn how to trust God more in our lives, okay? So, when you think of the future, what do you want to know? Exactly that. When I think of my future, I think of the what. What's going to happen? I want to know what's going to happen to me in the future, to my family, how I am going to be impacted in this world. I want the details. And most of us are not very happy with the fact that we cannot, if we think about it in these terms, we can't see into the future. We may have an idea what might happen, but we just don't know for sure. And so we, generally speaking, don't get the answers to the what until we experience them. What has this got to do with trusting God? You know, instead of waking up each morning and asking God to show us what He's going to be doing for us that day in the future, to kind of clue us in, so to speak, of the things that are going to happen, we need to, I think, adjust our thinking and go from wanting to know the what to wanting to remind ourselves about the who. And the who, of course, is the Lord. So instead of focusing on what may lie out ahead there of the future and the circumstances that we may encounter, and maybe in those thoughts when we have them, sometimes they're little ones about, okay, what am I gonna do for lunch? Sometimes they're huge, like, okay, am I gonna have a job? What about in my age? What about my retirement, right? How's that going to all work out? Kids, what's going to happen to my kids? Some of them are okay. Some of them I'm worried about, whatever the case may be. So these can be little things or they can be big, huge things in our life. And instead of focusing on the what's, we need to focus on the who. And that is our relationship with the Lord. And what He guarantees us is that, you know what, I'm not going to show you the future. The future is mine. But what I am going to do is be with you each step of the way, moment by moment by moment. I promise, God tells us, that I will be with you. I will never, get this, I will never leave you or forsake you. I don't know how many times I've thought about that verse in the Bible, but it just hits me all over again when I really slow down and really think about what that means. God promised me He will never leave me or forsake me. He's never going to turn His back on me. And so then what's my job? Just be thinking about Him. And from my perspective, keep myself in close contact and relationship with Him. Listen to what Jesus said in John the 15th chapter. And this is like verses 4 through 7. So listen to these words. And He's trying to get this across to us here. He says, "Remain in me, and I will remain in you." This is Christ speaking. "No branch can bear fruit by itself." Did you know that, well, there's a difference, first of all. We never produce fruit. We only bear it. But even in the bearing of the fruit, we can't do it without the Lord, because He's the vine. That's what He's about to say here. So He says, No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. I am the vine. You are the branches. If anyone remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not remain in me, he's like a branch that is thrown away and withers. Such branches are picked up, thrown into the fire, and burned. This is not losing your salvation, by the way. We don't have time to go into that, but that's not talking about losing your salvation. It's talking about losing everything else up to your salvation, basically. Okay? So they're picked up, thrown in the fire. If you remain in me, and my words remain in you, ask whatever you want, and it will be given you. Jesus is the vine. The roots come up from the ground and form the vine. And all the nutrients and the water and everything flows through the vine out to the branches. Jesus is our source of living. And we are his branches. He produces. We bear. But we can't even bear unless we stay connected to the vine. So don't worry so much about the what in order to trust God. You don't need to know all the details. It's a blessing. Believe me, it's a blessing that you don't know all the details. That's the Lord's job. So each day, don't ask him, Lord, show me the future. Show me what you're going to do. I want to know. No, just say, Lord, be with me. You know he is. But when you say it, it's you connecting back up with him from your perspective. And you then spend that day, you and the Lord, together, meeting whatever challenges you may face. God bless you. We'll see you next time.